Angel, Brother Ken.
Om Shanti, Bhumi Bhen, Om Shanti Didi. Yes, we are a little bit saddened to hear that you're a little bit under the weather, but as you said, just a little cold, no problem. So we are here for you too. So we are sending great good wishes. And it's incredible to see how Didi is able to fulfill her role very nicely. And if you're talking about transformation, all we have to do is to look at how Didi has been transforming and transforming and transforming. So Om Shanti, and also Om Shanti, sisters and brothers who are online. I've been requested to speak a little bit more slowly because I realize that there's quite a few people translating. So I wanted to share about today something special because it's very much connected with how we live and relate to others. It's the whole question of Maryadas. Now, as Didi was saying, we need, and even the homework is asking us about the easy effort. And we make easy efforts as we use our Brahmin speciality. And being a Brahmin, acting with that dignity and love that Didi was talking about, organizing our lives so that we can give the best, becoming a master ocean of love, becoming a master ocean of peace, any master ocean of knowledge or whatever, requires, of course, effort. And that effort is made much more easy if we pay attention to the Maryadas. So today I'll be looking at the whole question of Maryadas connected with relationships. Relationships with others, relationships with our own body even, relationship with matter, how we interact with matter, how we use matter, especially in the form of food, how we prepare food. All of these things, they are absolutely put around us with Baba's help. They are based on Srimad, as Baba was saying and asking us in the Morley, how close are we to following Srimad perfectly? And of course, the Maryadas are nothing except the Srimad related to how we live and work with others, how we live and work with matter, how we use money. All of those things Baba has given us some very clear guidance about. So as the Father, he gives us love. As the teacher, he gives us the knowledge, the basic knowledge, soul, God, matter, karma, drama. I remember I was doing this book, the New Beginnings book. And I asked Daddy Janki, Daddy, what's the essence of Gyan? She said, okay, it's soul, God, drama, karma. Just 4 words. So if you want to do something, write a book about Gyan, write it about soul, God, drama, karma. So Baba gives us the knowledge so that we can understand things. He gives us the companionship and the love as a father so that we can balance our lives properly. But he gives us guidance so that we can follow things, and it actually makes our life easier. If we know how to interact with others, if we know how to and what to eat and all of those things. So, and that gives us protection. And it's very interesting how Baba was talking about becoming ever ready. And Didi was talking about becoming ever ready. But we are much easier to get ready for anything if we are protected, if we are living within Baba's guidance. So if I want to check how much I follow Srimad, according to the extract from today's Avyak Moli that we saw just before Didi came on, we can just check how much we follow the Maryadas. And there we do see the difference of Srimat with Manmat and Paramat. Because Baba often talks about the customs and systems of the path of devotion being different from the customs and systems of the path of knowledge, because devotion is based on Manmat and Paramat. So if the way I live my life, the way I interact with others, even interact with my family members, even interact with my colleagues at work, if I act according to the Maryadas that Baba's instructed us about, I can really make my life elevated. And so I was thinking today how much it is connected, being Maryada Purushotam, as Baba says, following in the highest code of conduct. When we're looking at questions of living and working with others. So that's why I thought, why not take up this angle today? The meaning of Maryadas is exactly this, based on Srimad. They're the customs and systems that Baba, Mama, and our daddies have created over time. And of course, they begin with our basic principles, but they also govern the relationship between us. One of the areas that Baba's very specific about is the relationship between us as BKs, one thing, and the relationship between us and the Lokik world. Baba has given us guidance, very clear guidance on all of those things. So some points that I've selected out that support these customs and systems that Baba has created. First of all, we are sisters and brothers together. So we should be very careful about proximity, closeness. That's why brothers sit on one side, sisters sit on the other. But that sort of distance is really just because of the fact that we have to be more aware of what we have to do and less aware of what others are doing. And the reason why we are together, the reason why we come together as a Brahmin family, Baba's given us very clear guidelines about how we should be with each other. We come together to meditate. We come together to share knowledge. We come together to practice virtues, and we come together to do service. Or rather, the four subjects are exactly the reason why we are coming together. When we were setting up the International Charter of Association, and we were trying to figure out exactly how we are connected as a BK family worldwide, we have to, on one side, obey the laws of each respective country, but at the other side, we are actually interacting internationally. So what is it that keeps us together? And Brother Bridgmohan was very clear. He said, the thing that keeps us together is Sriman. We listen to the same murlis, and in the same murlis, we practice Gyan, Yoga, Dharana, and Seva, nothing else. We don't come together to generate any other type of relationship except those related to the four subjects. I remember Daddy Janki in a meeting in London with some of the brothers. They wanted to set up a drama group. And Daddy was very clear, look, it's okay if that's related to service, but we did not come here together to learn how to do drama. We came here together to learn to study. We didn't come here to find a partner for our lives, someone that we're going to live with. And though this has happened here and there, people have formed relationships that have been outside of the Maryadas, but we are not a sort of a spiritual social club that we come together and sort of exchange gossip, for example. And so there are so many murlis exactly about this, that why are we together, how we should speak to each other, how we should address each other, how we should speak softly and sweetly and less. Daddy Jenk used to say that if two souls are talking with each other for more than 10 minutes at a time, she knows that they've already gone into some sort of gossip. So we should keep our language appropriate according to what Baba says. We shouldn't talk about things that don't concern us. And also, we can, in that way, we can keep concentrated, we can keep detached. And in fact, if we are following, and those, let's say we're in the middle of a gossip and the destruction happens, well, you know, what would happen? If I'm following even this Maryada, I'm detached, loving, just interacting at a very simple and easy level, and the destruction happens, I'm ready. I can go without any problem. If I'm involved in something, then talking very deeply about something, then maybe I won't be ready at the time. And we know that the center is not a place for us to do business. We don't come to our centers to sell things or to find clients through whom whatever our profession is. I know some Brahmins have tried this over the years. Their, working conditions in many countries isn't so great. But it's not that we would come to the center to find possible clients. It's not the sort of language. We shouldn't talk about anything like business in the center at all. And if it's like a Lockic, to talking about Lockic things, let's say there's an election on, of course you'll be mentioning something or the other because it's the reality of the place that you're living in. But it doesn't mean that the center has become a place where you're sharing opinions about political parties. All of those sort of things, you can do it outside, but not in the center. And in fact, even outside, we should limit ourselves. We should condition our relationships in service and with each other according to what Baba teaches. Even when we decide to do things, there's a system in place. So the systems that Baba has established. There are instruments that Baba has appointed at national level and center levels. And they have the task of coordinating the service at that level. So Baba has set up a system. And we're not going to reinvent Baba's system. Some people think that the yajna is changing. No, the yajna is not changing. Personalities are different here and there. So there are Maryadas even related to the system setting up centers and the way we do service. First of all, we should have respect for the ones who are our seniors. All of these are Maryadas, how I speak to my seniors, how I speak to the ones who are my equals, how I speak to the ones who are junior to me in a way that they're new to Gyan, how we shouldn't take the law into our own hands. All of these things you'll find in the Maulis. When Baba's talking about how we should live and work together, he establishes these Maryadas. So there are ways to correct situations so you don't take the law into your own hands. There are ways, if there's a problem, if you don't agree with something that your instrument is saying, that's definitely the case that you shouldn't take the law into your own hands. So you shouldn't actively oppose anyone. But there is a pathway for you to sort out any problems. Especially in the country, you go to the highest instrument that, this is happening and I don't know what to do. Otherwise, if it's just a question of opinions, it's probably better to be humble and obedient. Baba says, say Haji. The history of the yajna is full of such examples. So if I have an idea that for service, let's say, in Sid's house, this program that I've been sharing about is about living and serving with others. So let's say I have an idea for service that I know will impact on others, either in my center or my city or my country, even the world, maybe there are some ideas which are great like that. I should first consult the appropriate instrument. This is what Baba's told us to do. It's not our Maryada to do something that impacts on others. Do it, finish it, and then inform about it. Because such behavior, you can imagine, we're a very, very big organization. So if I'm doing something wrongly somewhere, it may impact wrongly as well. It may lead to chaos. And unfortunately, we have seen this many times. And so if the task is something which is being done normally and it's been agreed upon, all you have to do is to update the appropriate instrument about the progress. That's all. You don't need to ask for permission if it's something that is ongoing. But if it's something new and it will have an impact, it's always better to ask before you start. These are sort of things that make service much easier, make relationships much easier, much smoother. These are the systems that Baba has set in place to keep respect. And so if my instrument teacher comes to me proposing some idea, asking for some cooperation, I can say Haji, yes, of course. But if there's a situation that makes it impossible for me to do that, I should be very clear about it. It's not a problem, but I shouldn't accept to do something knowing that I won't be able to do it. This is not what Baba teaches us. And this creates an easier flow in service. And isn't that what we want? We want smoother flowing relationships. If we see people as Baba sees them, and if we see ourselves as Baba sees us, there should be no reason for any sort of a sanskar clash between us. All I have to, Baba has the overall view. And there are many details about the way we should conduct our relationships, about all of these things that I'm saying. There are many, many things in Murlis about this, and so if you want, you can go to our Murli search engine, Brahmakumari Murli search engine, and use any of these key words such as instrument, Maryadas, Haji, all of these things. What does an instrument teacher do? You can search for yourself. You'll find such a wealth of details there. And of course, all of these things that I'm sharing appeared mainly in the Sakar Murlis as different situations appeared in front of Baba and our senior sisters, and Baba had to comment about them. So we should also pay attention how every day's Murli has something or the other about what is the best behavior we should have with ourselves and with each other in service and in our living, right? If we're living with people. So just if you have some doubts about any of these things that I've been sharing, then clarify them with someone who's more experienced, because it really is a relief to know that Baba set up a system which absolutely protects us. Look at one of the things that happened with COVID. If we were accurately following Baba's Srimad, we wouldn't be hugging people and so on and so forth. And so social distancing was already a reality for us. And then the only thing that was different is we had to start put masks on. So just think about all of these things. Think about becoming Maryada Purushotam, following the highest code of conduct, which is basically the Srimad that Baba gives us, to how to live and how to work with each other, how to do service with each other. And then, of course, then you'll understand how much maybe influence of your own manmat, your own directions of your own mind and the directions of other people's minds, which may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable with the things that Baba wants us to do. So this is, if this is our desire for everyone, that we become Baba's best instruments, because he's given us all of the instructions about how to do that. Okay, so today was about Maryadas and the connection between Maryadas and living and working with each other. Okay, so let's have some meditation. Om Shanti, everyone. So good reflections for your